thank you for caring about me and for standing up for me. Hey guys, it's Molly here again for another video, and if you have no idea who I am, I'm the blind girl in every other YouTuber's video titles. And we need to talk about it because it's kind of becoming a thing. I do a lot of collaborations, I have a lot of friends who are YouTubers, and we like to make content together. Oftentimes, we try to think outside the box, do something unique. I feel like one of the unique things that I offer is the fact that I don't have sight. It kind of allows us to do really creative content that you wouldn't be able to do with other YouTubers unless you were going to do it blindfolded, which is just never as fun as doing it with like a real blind person. Oftentimes, my YouTube friends will put blind girl dyes my hair, blind girl buys my outfit, blind girl does whatever. At first, people were like cool with it, probably because they like didn't know who I was. Oh, what you doing, Gallup? You wanted to be in the video too? Oh, he's going to his bed. Okay, you take a nap, sir. But anyway, so now that like I have my own kind of followers that watch my content, that like my content, that have learned a lot from my content, when they see other YouTubers using the blind girl does blank in their video titles, they're getting kind of like defensive or offended on my behalf. First off, number one thing I want to say about that is like, thank you for caring about me and for standing up for me, because as somebody who was bullied for years in school, I like didn't have people that stood up for me, and it's really cool that so many of you actually care about me enough to like want to come to my rescue, come to my defense. I know that you are all making these comments out of like the goodness of your souls, and that really like makes my heart happy, and I appreciate you like being in my life and being there for me, sis, because I know if I ever really do need you, I got my Killer Bee army. It's gonna have my back, and so thank you. But I also want to tell you, you don't have to worry about it. A lot of you know that like my big thing is I am not just a blind girl. I am a girl who happens to be blind. And I think that's where a lot of you are kind of coming to my defense of being like, why it like really bugs me when she puts blind girl in the title, because she's so much more than that. She even says herself she doesn't want to be remembered as that. I'll like put some example comments around of like what people are kind of saying and the sentiment and how they feel about it. My friends and I, like when I collaborate with Joey or Gabby or Ricky and Shane, like when I do these videos with James Charles and Shalom and all these people, like I know what their video title is gonna be. Like we discuss the thumbnail, we discuss the video title. It's not a surprise to me when the video drops and I'm like, oh, that's offensive. They used blind girl instead of my name. Because especially when I started doing a lot of these collaborations like a year ago or more, I didn't have a large following and people wouldn't have known who Molly Burke was if the title said Molly Burke dyes my hair. People honestly wouldn't have clicked on it, and at the end of the day, for a lot of the people that I collaborate with and for a lot of people on this platform, this is their job, and their job relies on, you know, getting clicks on videos. Blind girl dyes my hair, blind girl buys my outfit is frankly way more clickable than my friend dyes my hair or like Molly Burke dyes my hair. Like it's just more clickable, and I understand like that's the game of YouTube. We need to make our videos like sound appealing and sound interesting for somebody to want to watch it. And at the end of the day, the most important thing to me is that somebody watches the video, because by watching the video, they can then get educated. And if that person never clicked on that video and never watched it, or never clicked on that video and discovered my channel and started watching my content, they wouldn't have been educated. I'm sure at first when these videos started coming up, you read the title and didn't think twice about it and clicked on the video because you're like, oh, that's so interesting. Because the reality is there isn't like that many large YouTubers who are blind, and so it's something unique and interesting and different that you're not used to seeing, and so you probably clicked on it without a problem and were interested in the content. But now that you know me, my story, my viewpoints on my blindness, you kind of feel more like insulted by it or more offended by it. The reality is that just shows like you've been given an opportunity to be educated and to learn and to form those opinions. And I think that's really cool, and it's probably something that you might not have watched that video if it wasn't for that title, for having blind girl in the video title. And I even make jokes, like in my speeches, if you've ever seen me speak live. If you don't know, I'm a motivational speaker. I've been doing it for a very long time. And like literally one of the opening things I talk about in my speeches, like, I'm Molly Burke, but you can just call me the blind girl. You know, it's really something I'm comfortable with. Like, the reality is I'm blind. You know, there's nothing we can do to change that. I'm blind, and that's a part of me. It is not all of me. It's not who I want to be thought of as solely, but it is a part of me, and it's a part of a unique thing that I educate on and offer on this platform. And so I'm not offended by the fact that people use that in their video titles, and I want you guys to know that, and to know that, like, you don't have to come to my rescue, even though I really, really appreciate you doing so. I also want to make it clear, I'm fine when people use it in video titles. I'll use it in my video titles sometimes, but that doesn't mean, like, if you have a blind person in your class that you should call them the blind girl. Or if you have a, like, deaf kid in your class, you should call them the deaf kid. Because when it's not something you're owning, when it's something people are placing upon you, it is offensive. And to me, like, before I was comfortable with my blindness, before I was in the place that I am now in my life, it was offensive when people called me that. But that's kind of why I like to own the name now. Because by owning blind girl, it can't hurt me. By owning it and just being like, yeah, I'm the blind girl of YouTube, like, that's my thing, it takes the, like, the negative out of it. Like, people can no longer use it against me if I'm willing to be like, yeah, that's who I am. Don't use it, like, don't say those things about other people who aren't cool with owning it themselves. Like, I use it myself, I allow my friends to do it, I make blind jokes all the time, like, I'm comfortable with it. It's a piece of what's made me who I am today. It's a large part of why I'm on this platform, because I love sharing it with you guys and helping break down those barriers. I've rambled way too much about something that could have been a 3-minute video, so I'm gonna go. I love you guys oh so very much. Thank you for always having my back and being there for me. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video.